Hi, this is Sandi Maki with a little bit of heavy breathing just before midnight. It seems to me that I'd like to talk about the reset button today. What is the reset button, you may be asking yourself? The reset button is, I suppose, the arbitrary time and space and place where we make a decision that we would like to change something. And it could be a big monumental change, or it could be a small little, maybe a nuisance kind of a change. We get so caught up in our routine and our habit, the things that we do every day, and the things that we expect. We expect them of ourselves, from ourselves, and we expect them from others. I'd like to call attention to the reset button because I think it's something that we don't pay enough attention to. When we get caught up in our habits and the way that we've always done things and we keep doing things in that way, we're not even considering the fact that there is a reset button that's available. And the reset button doesn't have to take us to ground zero. It could take us to the place where we are at the best point that we could be at right now. So when I use the word reset, I don't mean that it completely neutralizes everything. I mean the reset button could simply be deciding right now that I'm going to be the best version of me in this moment that I possibly can, and then from here moving forward. When we think of reset, I think that we become so tied into technology, and we know that a full system reboot or a full system reset often means that, well, if anyone's gotten a new computer recently, pretty much that you start from zero and you have to load on all the programs that you'd like to have to be functional. This can be a really good thing. Resetting to the place where there's nothing and you have to load your own programs. Wow, that could be an analogy for life, couldn't it? So I suppose you could, if you wanted to hit the reset button and then decide which programs, which thought patterns, which decisions are serving you, and reload those, then that's cool. But I don't like that much work when I get a new computer, and I'm willing to do it because I know that often my processing times will be faster, or the things that I'm able to do will be enhanced. So sometimes it is worth the time, effort, and energy to plug programs back in on the computer. Other times, though, it makes more sense just to get moving, just to hit the arbitrary reset button and say, no, I'm going to go ahead and move forward. And then as things come up that you need to reprogram in, go ahead and do that. But things that maybe were old programs and that weren't serving you, they can just get left by the wayside where they were. So this might all be fine and good, and you may be wondering, well, what's an example of hitting this reset button? This reset button that I refer to could be something as simple as deciding that I'm going to be in a good mood when it comes to this topic that maybe has bothered me before. Or the reset button could be, I'm going to stop thinking self-limiting thoughts. I'm going to quit thinking that I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not pretty enough. Instead, I'm going to think I am smart enough, I am good enough, I am pretty enough. That could be one of those reset buttons. Another reset button that I recently flipped was regarding technology. I had not been a fan of products, we'll call them eye products, and had been resisting changing, even though I knew that eventually the time would come for me to want to make the switch. And as much as I thought about it, prior to flipping the switch or hitting this reset button on the way that I thought about it, I just couldn't bring myself to the point where it would be okay to make the switch. I was comfortable in my old technology, it was serving me, and it was working okay. Well, then out of the blue, something came up, and when I realized how quickly you can go from zero to taking a photograph with an iPhone, then that was finally what convinced me it was time to hit that reset button and be okay with that change. Which is really interesting because I pride myself on being spontaneous and adapting to change quickly. Yet there's certain things that I'll get stuck in a pattern with, or maybe it brings me some sort of comfort, or in life, because there's so many choices, maybe it's just a place where everything feels balanced. So why make a change until compelled to? So it could be something like that. Whatever the case is, I would like to just make sure that you call into your awareness, just like I've called into my awareness, that there are reset buttons everywhere. And we can hit them at any point. We can have a good reason for it, or we can have no reason for it. And we need to allow ourselves to make those choices. Instead of being caught up in old patterns, old cycles, and things that we do just because it's habit, it's routine, and we almost do it on autopilot without thinking, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily the best. And on the same token, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with it. But if you ever get a hint, if you ever get a glimmer or glimpse that maybe there's something that could be different, I encourage you to hit that reset button, because I think that it's a really good thing to have in the periphery of our awareness and take advantage of it anytime that we think it would be of benefit. And guess what? Because it's a reset button, you can always reset it and go in whatever direction you want. So there's really no need to have any fear here, and there's no need to feel like it's a wrong answer, because whatever it is, at any moment, we can always hit the reset button, even if it includes going back to somewhere else that we were. I think what you'll find, though, is that when you're empowered to hit that reset button, mentally or in whatever capacity you are, that you'll realize, even though maybe it was scary at first, the new version is often much better than where it was before. Until next time.